For years, I have been told that Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater is the best Metal Gear game that has been made. And I have had my fair share of Metal Gear games before, mainly just the modern ones, Ground Zeroes, Phantom Pain, and even Metal Gear Survives. Ugh. But again, for years I've been told that Snake Eater is the best one, with an amazing story and amazing characters. I honestly gotta say, they're not wrong. Since the announcement of Metal Gear 3 getting a remake, Metal Gear Solid Delta, I decided not only to finally play Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, but to even sell my soul to the devil and buy the Metal Gear Solid Volume 1 Master Collection, which comes with the original and remastered versions of Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3. And now, when I say remaster, I don't mean they remastered all these games for modern consoles. They're literally just ports. They didn't even bother to remaster Metal Gear Solid 1, which I think is a game that definitely needs a remaster, because it still has its original graphics, all pixelated characters and everything. I'm sure you can still enjoy the game, but again, you did the bare minimum here. I think they maybe upped the frames for all these games. But I honestly couldn't tell, and even if they did, that's still doing just the bare minimum. They really could just remaster Metal Gear Solid 1. I wouldn't even have that much of a problem. And they didn't even remaster 2 and 3. They still have their 2011 remastered textures and everything. You could even tell that by looking down at the main menu and seeing the trademark 2011. So yeah, these aren't even actual remakes. They just poured the original version of Metal Gear Solid 1 and poured the HD collection of Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 from 2011. And again, that's outrageous, especially for the pricing they are selling this game on digital stores, which is $60. I'm not even joking. $60 for 3 ports of games that came out fucking decades ago. And it's just baffling. But at least on other stores like Amazon, where I got the Master Collection, they're only selling it for $40, which is a little better, but still, these are just ports from older versions of the games, no remaster. Again, I think they maybe upped the frames for all these games, but I also couldn't tell. And again, that would just be the bare minimum of Konami. Back to Metal Gear Solid 3. Yeah, I honestly think it's a really good game. But to be honest, the controls are just fucking outrageous. I don't know how people did not have a problem with the controls back in the original times when Metal Gear Solid 3 came out. But, Jesus, it's just outrageous. And I'm used to, like, tank controls. Like, I played I played Resident Evil 4 through its beginning and end. And I got used to the tank controls pretty fast. And I know these games don't really have tank controls, so I'm just saying that I just couldn't really get used to the controls that much. It felt very stiff and everything. I'm very glad they are remaking Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater with a more modern and just more forgiving controls, if I'm going to be honest. But hopefully they, don't do that much with the story. By me saying that, I hope they keep the cheesiness of the story, because these stories are just filled with the biggest cheese that there has ever been. And I'm not usually one for cheese. I hate how cheesy the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies are, but I do love 2 and 3, but I do not like Spider-Man 1. I'm sorry, but it's just not a good film in my opinion. It's not just because of the cheesiness, mainly Tobey Maguire's acting, but besides the point. Since they are making this game, I hope they keep cheesiness. But let's be honest, it's Konami. They're gonna keep cheesiness. They love making Americans look stupid, and Konami's not gonna shy away from that. So they're definitely gonna keep the cheesiness into the story. I'm sure they will make a lot of changes, but keep the cheesiness for Metal Gear Delta, please. But yeah, I do really like the character of Big Boss, who is Naked Snake, right? I just got back into the Metal Gear craze. When I first got Metal Gear Phantom Pain, I was a huge Metal Gear Solid fan. But that kind of died down for years. But when Fortnite, I know, I'm sorry, but when Fortnite, Jesus, I'm laughing at myself for saying this. I'm sorry, but because of Fortnite, again, I'm sorry for y'all. Since Fortnite has released Solid Snake skins for Fortnite, I got back into the Metal Gear Solid craze and decided to get the Metal Gear Solid Volume of Master Collection. And I'm honestly glad I did. And I'm honestly glad I decided to buy it on Amazon instead of a digital store like the Xbox store or PS Plus store. Because I would just never forgiven myself. But again, Metal Gear Solid 3, it is a great game. I love the character of Naked Snake. He's a really good character. I love just his character in general. David Hayter is an amazing voice actor. I love his voice as Snake. Eva is a very good character too. She, of course, is just, you know, eye candy for most players. But that's like, you know, an average female protagonist in a Metal Gear game. If you guys remember Quiet from Metal Gear Phantom Pain, she did have a really good character, but she was also just eye candy for the viewer. And I have no complaints. Hey, a man needs his eye candy. I'm just saying. And I really enjoyed Metal Gear Phantom Pain as well, and I'm still playing that game till this day. But yeah, Metal Gear Solid 3, it's a very good game. Again, controls, they're very awkward. I don't think I'll ever get used to them. And I'm thankful for this remake, because that means we'll get more modern controls and way more forgiving controls. And I'm honestly so thankful for that. I have been trying to finish Metal Gear Solid 2 at the moment. I'm only at the, you know, second act, I guess, where you start playing as Raiden. Metal Gear Rising. I played Metal Gear Rising and finished it. It is fucking hype. If you haven't played Metal Gear Rising yet, go play it. Go pick it up. Buy on it. It's only like $20 on digital stores on Xbox Store. I'm pretty sure it's not on any other digital store. Well, it's on PC. I'm pretty sure, but I don't know if it's still $20. But it's not on PS. It's not on the PS Store, sadly. So sorry, PlayStation players, but you can't play Metal Gear Rising. But yeah, it's only $20 on the Xbox Store if you have an Xbox, and I think it's honestly worth the price. I would even pay like $60 for it. And I know I just complained about the fucking Master Collection being priced at $60 on digital stores, but hey, it's Metal Gear Rising is an actual, you know, good game, and it hasn't never been remastered. But again, I'm making no sense, so let's just get back to the actual topic. Metal Gear Solid 3. The villains, I really did enjoy Volgin. Volgin was a very funny but also menacing villain at the same time. I just loved him. Every time he was on screen, I just smiled because I knew I was going to get a good scene. The big boss, Naked Snake's boss, she's a very good and compelling character. And I personally didn't cry when Snake had to kill her, but I understand why other people did, because Boss was like a mother to Solid Snake's Naked Snake. I'm sorry, I still get confused with the names. Again, I just got back to the Metal Gear craze after getting this Master Collection because of Fortnite. So I'm still confused about fucking which Snake is which. I know Solid Snake is the Snake of Metal Gear 1 and 2. But I just get confused with the names sometimes. I'm trying to get used to Naked Snake and Metal Gear Solid 3 and Phantom Pain even. Yeah. The other villains, the Sorrow was a pretty cool scene. I wouldn't really call it a boss fight because you don't even really fight the Sorrow. You just walk through this lake. But I think it's really a cool boss fight. Basically, in this scene, you're walking past all of the enemies that you have killed through the game up until you get to the Sorrow, which isn't like isn't like at the actual final part, but he's like the third final boss, I'm pretty sure. And I also gotta say that it's one of the greatest sequences in this game, I have to say. It's very kind of horrific too, and hearing like the screams of the men you killed before the boss fight. And I just think it was a really cool scene in general. The end was also a really cool boss fight. I liked trying to sneak around and snipe him himself when he's also trying to snipe me. I did only die once. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how anyone fucking failed 6 times on the end boss fight. It's not really that hard of a boss, but it is very enjoyable. And I finished the boss in like my second try, but it was a very entertaining boss fight. The other boss fights, Fury, the Fear. There's another boss fight, can't remember. They weren't, that enjoyable, but they were pretty good. The Fury was not even difficult. It was just kind of just lame. You just had to, sneak around him and shit. It was a fine boss fight, but, it's not very enjoyable. Same with the Fear. He just jumped around trees. It was pretty hard to get a shot on him. That's not like a nitpick or anything, but it just kind of got boring. Unlike the end, big boss, or just boss. I mean, sorry, and the end, and even Vulgar was a really cool boss fight. I like that boss fight. Ocelot's boss fight was kind of meh. I didn't really like it. It was just very boring. You just had to wait for him to get out of cover and reload, and then you just shoot him. It was kind of unentertaining, but it was an alright boss fight, all things considered. I do love the implementation of the camouflaged outfits. I like that you have to put on different outfits to blend in with your surroundings. I think that's really cool. But I honestly get really annoyed when I have to go into the menu first and then pick a outfit. I hope they somehow fix that. I don't know how they will, but hopefully they somehow fix that. But yeah, I do really like that mechanic, but hopefully they make it better by not making you go into the fucking menu and choose a outfit. I really like how Snake kind of has a mask of... I know it's not really Ryan's face, but it kind of looks like Ryan. He has the white hair and even has like kind of his face. It's the mask you use to disguise yourself as one of the officers in one of the parts of the game. It kind of looks like Ryan's face. I'm not gonna lie. It has the long white hair, and it just has Ryan's face in general. So you're kind of like going around the game as Ryan. I think it's really funny. Yeah. So yeah, Metal Gear Solid 3 is a great game. I enjoy playing it. But again, the controls, I just couldn't get used to them. I don't know if I'll play Metal Gear Solid 3 original again. Because again, the controls are just hard to get used to. But I did very much enjoy the story. The boss fight, Nick and Snake's boss. I like that boss fight. I'm just gonna call it Big Boss, fuck it. The Big Boss fight was pretty cool. I like that you had to kind of sneak around her, and she was trying to sneak around you. I didn't even realize until she was at her final health bar that if she charges towards you, you can actually shoot her and deal damage. When you try to shoot her, when she sees you, she'll usually deflect it with her arm. But when she is charging at you, trying to attack you, you will be able to get a few shots on her before she falls on the ground. I didn't even realize that until she was at her little pieces of her health bar. But I did really enjoy the boss fight where you had to sneak around her, try to get sniping shots. I mainly just used the sniping rifle because it was really easy to get a shot on her, just to get a shot on her head. And I really liked the boss fight. It was a really cool sequence. But yeah, all things considered, Metal Gear Solid 3, it's a great game. Again, controls are something I couldn't really get used to. I'll probably replay the game again just to relive the story because it's really good. Maybe I'll just wait for Metal Gear Delta whenever that arrives. But yeah, that's basically it. Later.